session, we'll discuss the concept of information science and its relation to information systems. At the end of this session, you will be able to analyze how computer systems function as tools for managing information and generating knowledge, and explore how knowledge is generated in information science. Data are raw facts that lack meaning. Information is processed data that has meaning. Information is data that is processed using knowledge. In order for information to be valuable or meaningful, it must be accessible, accurate, timely, complete, cost-effective, flexible, reliable, relevant, simple, verifiable, and secure. We'll talk more about this later. The integrity or quality of the data, rather than the form, is what matters. Integrity refers to whole, complete, correct, and consistent data. Data integrity can be compromised through human error, viruses, worms, or other bugs, hardware system failures or crashes, transmission errors, and/or hackers entering the system. Information technologies help to decrease these errors by putting into place safeguards such as backing up files on a routine basis, error detection for transmission, and user interfaces that help people enter data correctly. High-quality data is data that are relevant and accurately represent their corresponding concepts. Data are dirty when there are errors in the database, such as duplicate, incomplete, or outdated records. One author found 50 cases of tongue cancer in the database she examined for data quality. When the records were tracked down and analyzed and the dirty data removed, such as duplicates, only one case of tongue cancer remained. In this case, the data for the same person was entered incorrectly 49 times. If researchers had used the original data to define the population as 50, they would have drawn the conclusion that tongue cancer was an epidemic. This would result in flawed information that is not meaningful. It is important that data be clean if the goal is quality information. The data that we process into information must be of high quality and integrity to create meaning to inform our assessments and decision making. To be valuable and meaningful, information must be of good quality. Its value relates directly to how the information informs decision making. Quality of information is necessary for it to be valuable and meaningful. For information to be valuable and meaningful, it must be accessible, accurate, timely, complete, cost-effective, flexible, reliable, relevant, simple, verifiable, and secure. Accessibility is a must. The right user must be able to obtain the right information at the right time and in the right format to meet his or her needs. Getting meaningful information to the right user at the right time is as vital as generating the information in the first place. The right user refers to an authorized user who has the right to obtain the data and information he or she is seeking. Security is a major challenge because unauthorized users must be blocked, while the right user is provided with open, easy access. Timely information means that the information is available when it is needed for the right purpose and at the right time. Knowing who won the lottery last week does not help one to know if the person won it today. Accurate information means there are no errors in the data and information. Relevant information is a subjective description in that the user must have information that is relevant or applicable to his or her needs. If a healthcare provider is trying to decide whether a patient needs insulin and only the patient's CT scan information is available, this information is not relevant for that current need. However, if one needed information about the CT scan, then the information is relevant. Complete information contains all of the necessary essential data. If the healthcare provider needs to contact the only relative listed for the patient and his or her contact information is listed but the approval for that person to be a contact is missing, this information is considered incomplete. Flexible information means that the information can be used for a variety of purposes. Information concerning the inventory of supplies in a nursing unit, for example, can be used by nurses who need to know if an item is available for use for a patient. The nurse manager accesses this information to help decide which supplies need to be ordered, to determine which items are used most frequently, and to do an economic assessment of any waste. Reliable information comes from reliable and clean data and an authoritative and credible sources. Objective information is as close to the truth as one can get. It is not subjective or biased, but rather factual and impartial. If someone states something, it must be determined whether that person is reliable and whether what he or she is stating is objective or tainted by his or her own perspective. Utility refers to the ability to provide the right information at the right time to the right person for the right purpose. Transparency allows users to apply their intellect to accomplish their task, where the tools housing the information disappear. Verifiable information means that one can check to verify or prove that the information is correct. Reproducibility refers to the ability to produce the same information again. Information science has evolved over the last 50-some years as a field of scientific inquiry and professional practice. It can be thought of as the science of information, studying the application and usage of information and knowledge in organizations and the interface or interaction between people, organizations, and information systems. This extensive interdisciplinary science integrates features from cognitive science, communication science, computer science, library science, and social science. Information science is primarily concerned with the input, processing, output, and feedback of data and information through technology integration with a focus on understanding the perspective of the stakeholders involved and then applying information technology as needed. It is systematically based, dealing with the big picture rather than the individual pieces of technology. Information science is an interdisciplinary, people-oriented field that explores and enhances the exchange of information to transform society, computer science, communication science, cognitive science, library science, and the social sciences. Society is dominated by the need for information, and knowledge and information science focuses on systems and individual users by fostering user-centered approaches that enhance society's information capabilities, effectively and efficiently linking people, information, and technology. This impacts the configuration and mix of organizations and influences the nature of the work, namely how knowledge workers interact with and produce meaningful information and knowledge. Claude E. Shannon, who is considered the father of information theory, thought of information processing as the conversion of latent information into manifest information. Latent information is that which is not yet realized or apparent, whereas manifest information is obvious or clearly apparent. Information science enables the processing of information. This processing links people and technology. Humans are organic information systems, constantly acquiring, processing, and generating information or knowledge in their professional and personal lives. This high degree of knowledge, in fact, characterizes humans as extremely intelligent, organic machines. The premise revolves around this concept, and the materials for this discussion are organized on the basis of the foundation of knowledge model: knowledge acquisition, knowledge processing, knowledge generation, and knowledge dissemination. Information systems can be manually based. For the purposes of this discussion, the term refers to computer-based information systems, or CBIS. Computer-based information systems are combinations of hardware, software, and telecommunications networks that people build and use to collect, create, and distribute useful data, typically in an organizational setting. Along the same lines, information systems are also defined as a set of interrelated components that collect, manipulate, store and disseminate data and information, and provide a feedback mechanism to meet an objective or a goal. Information systems are designed for specific purposes within organizations. They are only as functional as the decision-making capabilities, problem-solving skills, and programming potency built in, and the quality of the data and information input into them. The ability of the information system to disseminate, provide feedback, and adjust the data and information based on these dynamic processes is what sets them apart. The information system should be a user-friendly entity that provides the right information at the right time and in the right place. An information system acquires data or inputs, processes data through retrieval, analysis, or synthesis of those data, disseminates or outputs information in the form of reports, documents, summaries, alerts, prompts, or outcomes, and provides for responses or feedback. Input or data acquisition is the activity of collecting and acquiring raw data. Input devices include combinations of hardware, software, and telecommunications, and include keyboards, light pens, touchscreens, mice or other pointing devices, automatic scanners, and machines that can read magnetic ink characters or lettering. For example, to watch a pay-per-view movie, the viewer must first input the chosen movie, verify the purchase, and have a payment method approved by the vendor. The information system must acquire this information before the viewer can receive the movie. The information systems acquire data input and process data that consists of the retrieval, analysis, and/or synthesis of data. It's going to disseminate or output in the form of reports, as I said, documents, summaries, alerts, prompts, and/or outcomes, and then it's going to provide for responses and feedback. Returning to the movie rental example, the information system must verify the data entered by the viewer and then process the request by the following steps necessary to provide access to the movie that was ordered. This processing must be instantaneous in today's world, where everyone wants everything now. After the data are processed, they are stored. In this case, the rental must also be processed so the vendor receives payment for the movie, whether electronically via a credit card or checking account withdrawal, or by generating a bill for payment. Output or dissemination produces helpful or useful information that can be done in the form of reports, documents, summaries, alerts, or outcomes. Reports are designed to inform and are generally tailored to the context of a given situation or the user or user group. Reports may include charts, figures, tables, graphics, pictures, hyperlinks, references, or other documentation necessary to meet the needs of the user. Documents represent information that can be saved, emailed, printed, or otherwise shared or displayed. Summaries are condensed versions of the original design to highlight the major points. Alerts or warnings, feedback, or additional information necessary to assist the user in interacting with the system. Outcomes are the expected results of input and processing. Output devices are combinations of hardware, software, and telecommunications, and includes sound and speech synthesis outputs, printers, and monitors. Continuing with the movie rental example, the information system must be able to provide the consumer with the movie ordered when it is wanted and somehow notify the purchaser that he or she has indeed purchased the movie and is granted access. The information system must also be able to generate payment either electronically or by generating a bill while storing the transactional record for future use. Feedback or responses are reactions to the inputting, processing, and output. In information system, feedback refers to the information from the system that is used to make modifications in the input, processing actions, or outputs. Information system should be a user-friendly entity that provides the right information at the right time in the right place. User-friendly means that the system is compatible with its intended user's ability to use it easily and successfully. Organizations are recognizing that their most precious asset is their information, represented in their employees, experience, competence, or know-how, and in innovative or novel approaches, all of which are dependent on a robust information network that encompasses the information technology infrastructure.